Myself SHANMUGA Priya from the Department of Geology. Today I am going to present the topic about geological work of wind. First of all, why we are studying the geological work of wind? We have to know the formations of aeolian landforms. Aeolian landforms is nothing but the landforms that are formed in the desert and semi-desert areas. First of all, content. Today we are going to see the introductions and geological actions of wind and erosional process and their associated landforms, and then transportation process and also the depositional process and their associated landforms. Next, first introduction. What is wind? Wind is we are all know that it is an moving air, which is an active agent in erosion, transportation and deposition. The geological action by wind is also known as aeolian process. It is very active in the desert and semi-desert areas. Desert areas is nothing but which receives less rainfall and less vegetation cover. But semi-desert is not like the desert. Semi-desert which receive more rainfall and vegetation cover. For example, Thar desert in Rajasthan is an semi-desert. Desert example is an Sahara desert in Africa. And then the activity of wind is very effective in that area where the plant cover is very lack. Geological actions of wind. The geological actions of winds are mainly three types. They are wind erosion, deposition and then the transportation. First, wind erosion. Wind erosion is nothing but removal of particles. The removal of particle by the actions of wind is wind erosion. Wind erosion is three main types. They are deflation and abrasion, attrition. First one is deflation. Deflation is a removal of finer particles. The finer particles like sand, silt and clay, they are removed by the actions of wind. The region which experience intense and sustained erosions are called deflation zones. The landforms created by deflation involves blowouts and then desert permits and then hamada. First one is blowouts. Blowouts is nothing but the depression formed by the removal of particles. It is formed by the action of wind. It is also called as an deflation basins. At the several time the deflations going down and down after reaching the water table and it form an oasis. And then next one is desert permit. Desert permit is nothing but a sheet like surface of rock fragments that is formed by the action of deflation. The finer particles are get eroded and then the pebbles and cobbles are settled down in the surface and it forms the desert permit. And then next one is hamada. Hamada is when the loose particles are swept away, the hard mantle is left over behind is known as hamada. We can similarly seen in the desert areas. And then the next one process is abrasion. Abrasion is similar to deflation, but the main distinction is they are carrying away the loose particles. It depends upon the velocity of wind. The landforms that is formed by the abrasion involves pedestal rocks, ventifacts, Zuhan and Yardang. First one is pedestal rock. Pedestal rock is those rock formation with wide top and narrow bottom, because the narrow bottom indicate the abrasion takes place more in the narrow bottom at the bottom surface. And then the ventifact. Ventifact is nothing but the pebble face. The pebble face is formed by the actions of abrasion. And then next one is Zuhan. Zuhan is a tabular masses of more resistant rock resting on an undercut pillars of softer rock. They are elongated in the direction of prevailing wind and it is also known as mushroom table. And next one is Yardang. Yardang, it is a groove or furrow shaped topographic form that is also produced by the actions of abrasion. These grooves are elongated in the directions of prevailing winds and are separated by sharp edges. So it is called as an Yardang. Attrition process is nothing but the grinding action. While on transit, wind-blown particles are often collide with one another and mutual collision brings the grinding of particle. These particles are reduced to smaller size is called attrition. And the next one is transportation process. What is transportation? Transportation is nothing but carrying a material from one place to another. It is called transportation. In the desert areas, the particles, sand, silt and clay particles are transported from certain distances based on their size and shapes. They are three types. One is suspension, second one is saltation, and third one is creeping. Suspension is nothing but it carrying the material from few hundred to few thousand meters. And then second one is saltation. Saltation is nothing but carrying of materials in series of skips and jumps. Creeping is a third one. They are carrying of larger sized materials, rolling action, rolling of materials in the earth surface. They are also called as traction. And next one is depositional process. In the depositional process, the eolian deposits are formed. What is eolian deposit? The wind-blown materials are deposited in certain areas. They are called as an eolian deposits. The rock particles in the eolian deposits are generally well grounded and are sorted according to their size and weight. Wind deposits are mainly two types. They are sand dunes and loess. What is sand dunes? Sand dunes is nothing but accumulation of sand is called sand dunes. And what is loess? Loess is deposit of silt are called loess. First one, sand dunes. We are commonly seeing this type of structures in desert areas. They are nothing but the hill of sand. The hill of sand is built either by the wind action, and then the dunes occur in different shapes and sizes. A dune field is in an area covered by extensive sand dunes is called slab. Types of sand dunes. They are four types. Crescent dunes, transverse dunes, longitudinal dunes, and parabolic dune. First one is crescent dunes. Crescent dunes is nothing but it is look like an concave side of face. Crescent type dune with a steep slip face on the onward or concave side. It is called barchans. And then next one is transverse. A relatively straight elongated dune oriented perpendicular to the wind direction. They are formed in areas with strong winds where more sand is available. And the next one is longitudinal dunes. Longitudinal dunes are long ridges of sand that form parallel to the prevailing wind. These dunes occur where sand supplies are moderate. And then next one is parabolic dune. It is U-shaped mounds of sand with a convex nose trailed by elongated arms. These are formed around blowouts where the erosion of vegetated sand leads to U-shaped depression. Loess. Loess is nothing but an deposit of silt. Deposit of silt and clay is called loess. It is size ranges from 20 to 25 mm in size. They are yellow in color. It is composed of many mineral compositions, for example quartz, sulfur, and hornblende and calcite. And then other depositional landforms we can easily see in the desert areas are ripple marks, butte, mesa, and plateau. Ripple marks is nothing but a wavy undulation that are shown in the desert areas. And then butte. Butte is a small isolated flat-topped hill with steep sides. Mesa. Mesa is a big landmass with steep sides and flat top assembling like a table. So it is called mesa. And then the last one is plateau. Plateau is nothing but an elevated upland with one or more steep side spread over a large area. It looks like a upland. So it is called as a plateau.